Signature Bank Studios. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft on AM 560. The Answer.
When you see the hunger, when you see the need, thousands of people, you go out on the field and they have a smile for you. Even if they haven't eaten for 1 or 2 days, it just makes us real sad. The more we do, the more we see the need. The more places we go, the more we find people starving. The more we see children, because grown-ups can find something. The people here, thank goodness, in Honduras, we eat the grass. We eat whatever, whatever grows, we eat. People are eating the leaves from the trees. We have a lemongrass. They make tea with that, without sugar, without nothing, A pet in the States lives much better than people in the rural area in Honduras. And now not only in the rural area, but in the city because of the lack of work.
That's a statement. A pet lives better in the United States than people do in Honduras. We're into December, and this is Giving Tuesday, so we're pressing the pedal down on our Food for the Poor partnership. This Giving Tuesday, we want to set aside a time to consider those children in countries where Food for the Poor serves, like Honduras, you just heard, where the lack of work and crushing poverty has led to severe hunger. Today only, your gift of any amount will be tripled to help 3 times more children to eat. And what does that mean? Well, it's a relatively modest amount for a lot of our listeners in terms of making a big impact. So what does that look like? Well, let's go through it again briefly before we're joined by Paul. For a gift of $150, you can provide food and water for 2 children for a year. So for $300, food and water for 4 children for a year. But those gifts are tripled today. So $150 means 6 children for an entire year. $300 means 12 children for an entire year. To make a gift of any amount, you just call 844-862-4673 or visit us online at 560theanswer.com/food for the poor, 560theanswer.com/food for the poor. And then we have our business benefactor program as well. Again, a reminder of how this works. Pretty straightforward. You make a tax-deductible gift of $2,500 to Food for the Poor. And AM 560 will provide 40 one-minute commercials to air on this station to promote your business. I can voice it. Justin can voice it. Quinn can voice it. Whoever you want to voice it can voice it. You can voice it. The commercials air prime broadcast hours Monday to Friday between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. This is a great marketing deal, the best in Chicago radio. And at the same time, you're providing life-saving food for more than 30 children in Latin America and the Caribbean. To become a business benefactor, you call our general manager. He is John Gallagher. His number, 847-472-8950. Again, call John at 847-472-8950. And I do want to thank some of those who've already signed up for our business benefactor program, including DC Export Group, Humane Indiana, DSP Insurance, MS Consulting, South Suburban Humane Society, Applied Mechanical, Chris Jacobs' team of Century 21 Circle, Nature's Believe It or Not by Jeff Tischler, Victoria Francisi on behalf of Breakthrough Ideas, that's Jeannie Ives' organization. Thank you to all of those business benefactors and many others, including, and I should also hasten to add a thank you to all those who've already made a donation as well. All right, so let's talk about this a little bit more, how we're doing, how Food for the Poor is doing, what it's doing, more importantly. Paul Jacobs, the radio manager and on-air fundraiser for Food for the Poor, joins us again. Paul, thanks for being with us.
No, it's great to be here, and this is a real special day. I want you to take note of it. This Tuesday, December 2nd, is a day you can mark on your calendar where you made a decision to literally take what is in your hand, no matter what you can give. Now, these businesses, like Chris Jacobs' team, I should know Chris Jacobs' team, that's my last name, but Chris Jacobs' team gave $2,500, and that's their business that's going to help children survive with life-saving food and deliver safe water in their communities. But what is in your hand? Maybe you have a gift of $150, maybe you have a $50 gift, but today, a very special day, Giving Tuesday until midnight, your gift of any amount is going to be tripled. What you have in your hand right now is going to be tripled to help 3 times as many children. You know, we just heard a clip from one of our ministry partners in Honduras as she talked about, as I was interviewing her, and I was asking her about the crushing poverty in Honduras. And I didn't really have to ask her because I saw it firsthand myself when I was there this year. And one of the things that was striking to me is, you know, it's a very beautiful country. And we were in a community where we saw this beautiful coastal area that was hiding this crushing poverty behind this beauty of this natural area of beaches and these long coastlines. And I met a mom, I met a husband, I met these 3 children, this little girl, Eden, you know, what a beautiful name, this little girl, Eden. And you could see in this child's face how they were struggling because they don't eat every day. And then quickly, as I'm talking to the family, I look at the father's face. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at a picture right now, and I just saw this blank stare. Maybe you're a family, or maybe you're a father, and you've had that one Christmas, that one holiday season where you didn't know where anything was going to come from, whether your meal, the gifts, the tree, the decorations, nothing. And I saw in his eyes what I saw in my single father as he raised me, what that struggle looked like. And today, a special day, December 2nd, triple day of Giving Tuesday, you can make a difference in so many lives. I want to encourage you to be the first of 20 listeners, 20 parents, 20 families that can come together and give your best gift and literally make the difference in the lives of 3 times as many children.
That's a veritable multiplication of the fish and loaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is, I like these programs too. I assume this is, you know, sort of a wealthy donor who does, like, I want to do a match to incentivize more smaller donations and get the multiplier effect. And that's how these things. But I think a lot of people like that sort of program too, because it indicates that somebody's out there matching. And so now my marginal philanthropic dollar is doing 3 times the impact.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, it's okay. So you're right. Someone who has means has committed to Food for the Poor for the long haul and said, I want to do what's in my heart for those out there in your radio land that listen to your broadcast, listen to the stories of children like Eden who don't eat every day, her parents who struggle to find food. And I want to encourage what's in my heart to other listeners. And you're hearing this triple match basically provided by a supporter to Food for the Poor whose heart has just been bent towards these children that don't eat every day. It's interesting. Last Monday, we had a golf tournament at Trump National. I heard you talking about golf earlier in the earlier segment. So it's interesting. The golf tournament was a fundraiser to help children in Jamaica so that they could eat and that they could thrive every single day. And you know who organized it? A 9-year-old child. Well,
really?
Yes, that 9-year-old child is now just turned 20. And that child has been doing this golf tournament at Trump National all these years. So I'm just saying that if you have in your heart compassion to do something, it doesn't matter what's in your hand or what you have to give or how old you are old enough now to make a decision to make a difference.
It's a conversation we have every year, but I think it bears repeating because, sticking with the biblical allusions, we want to see, men being taught to fish as well. And so the infrastructure and the wherewithal that Food for the Poor builds in these countries so that you do have some sustainability. So it's not just hand to mouth every year, the same families. I know there's millions and millions of people. I mean, I think the scale would surprise people in terms of the number of people that are living meal to meal for their survival. But that long-term planning to try to build community so that people can be self-sufficient.
That's exactly right. The number is 15. 15 times the number of the population of the city of Chicago are severely malnourished in the countries where Food for the Poor serves. I'm not talking about worldwide. I'm just talking about where Food for the Poor serves. So we've got our work cut out for us. And so this is why we, as 350 people in our headquarter building in Florida, we cannot take this task on without ministry partners, without pastors, churches on the ground. Food for the Poor has the cross in our logo because that's the center of who we are for these last 4 decades, more than that, actually 43 years, going on to our 44th year. And so we're asking right now for you to partner with an organization that partners with the local church. Yes, your gift is going to triple in feeding children. You're going to have triple the impact, but you're also going to have triple the impact on a pastor. Pastors that I've met in Honduras, I've met in Haiti, I've met in Guatemala, I've met in Jamaica, where they are working hand in hand in these same communities. They're not in some far out compound coming in and bussing in every single day. No, they are working hand in hand with these communities because they're them. And so just like your pastor, your priest in your community works alongside you in very difficult and diverse times, they're doing the same, working hand in hand with Food for the Poor to make sure that this food is delivered. And these 43 million children and families that are experiencing severe hunger and food insecurity, well, that they can get the help that they need this Christmas and for the next year. And let me not forget to say that your gift is going to feed a child for an entire year. Not just a meal this Christmas. No, it goes way beyond that. So we're asking you to be the first of 20 people on this broadcast. There's hundreds, there's thousands listening right now at this very moment. Could you join in and do what so many, like we had a gift from Sharon from Calumet City, $150. And I just love what she wrote. Sharon says, no child should go hungry. With that same sentiment, would you join Sharon and so many others that have given today?
And I don't want to go full maha on you, but the meals too, in terms of the kids. That this we're not doing Cheetos and soda here. These are meals that give them the vitamins and the proteins and stuff that they need to grow, right?
Okay, so okay. All right. In Haiti, we have a compound where we have produced this food. Now, there was something that was asked of us when we were on our last trip to Haiti, and they were like, there's a lot of fat in this meat. And I said, yeah, I get it. You probably go lean at home when you buy in the grocery store, Greenwise or whatever whatever brand you buy. Well, in places where Food for the Poor serves, this food is, first of all, focused on nutrition. It's focused on building back these bodies and these lives. These families are getting food these children are getting food that is filled with protein. It's filled with nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. There's a program we have called a manna pack, like manna from heaven. And in that rice package, that rice meal, it feeds a child with the right amount of nutrition, protein, soy, vitamins and minerals so that they can sustain their body. So yeah, it's not Cheetos, it's not empty calories, it's food that's going to sustain them for life.
And just again, some of the countries, we may have people who are of an extraction of one of the countries that serves too. They made it to America from one of these countries that has well-documented struggles. So we mentioned Jamaica, particularly after the hurricane. You mentioned Haiti, which is always an issue. Honduras, some of the other countries in Latin America and the Caribbean where Food for the Poor has a presence.
Guatemala and Jamaica. Jamaica is a big project for us right now. We're in the relief stages after Hurricane Melissa. That was just a little over a month ago, where Hurricane Melissa devastated the entire country of Jamaica. And we are still sending food kits to families who have lost everything, food and meals, to children and families. I was there 6 days in the aftermath of the hurricane, and I met families that it had been probably 2 weeks since the hurricane struck, and they were not eating every day. Children, elementary age, no school, parents had no jobs, they're not eating every day. And so in these 15 countries across Latin America and the Caribbean are 6 priority countries like the ones we've just named, Guatemala, Jamaica, Haiti, Honduras, El Salvador, and others. We are making sure that our children in these communities are our primary focus. I heard your story about the Boy Scouts earlier in the segment. Why do we talk about that? Because children are our future. They're the focus, and they're the ones that are the most vulnerable. And so we're asking you right now, be the first of 20 to say, I want to triple my gift and give generously, because these families, these children need a tomorrow. They need a better future, and you can provide that right now.
And again, as you heard from Paul, the mission field 15 times the city of Chicago, so that's 45 million people.
Yes.
So it's a big job. It's a bigger job than 350 people that Food for the Poor can do alone, for sure.
Yeah.
Gift of $150 provides food and water for 2 children for an entire year, but today that's 6. Gift of $300 provides food and water for 4 children for an entire year, but today that's 12 because we're 3Xing every gift, no matter the amount. Call 844-862-4673, or you can donate online at 560theanswer.com/foodforthepoor. And again, the Business Benefactor Program, it's a popular one. You make a tax-deductible gift on behalf of your business of $2,500 to Food for the Poor. And we at AM 560 give you, your business, 41-minute commercials to air on our airwaves, prime broadcast hours, Monday to Friday between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. And to sign up for the Business Benefactor Program, John Gallagher is the contact. His number is 847-472-8950. Again, John at 847-472-8950 to get involved with the Business Benefactor Program. Paul Jacobs, thanks so much for joining us. As always, appreciate it.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you and your listeners, Dan.
Merry Christmas. And Paul joined us on the Turnkey.Pro answer line.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Space Force Commander Matt Lohmeyer stood up against the Marxist agenda threatening our military.
Your ideology doesn't matter one bit.
Share your pronouns in your email.
He knew that if he didn't speak up, no one else was going to speak up.
Initiate difficult conversations about racial and gender barriers.
Race identity politics, critical race theory, white fragility, white guilt.
Don't miss the new movie Call Sign Courage, the Matt Lohmeyer story.
We need lethality in the military, period.
Watch it now.